Hello everyone, my name is Jamin. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. In this video, I have an Acer Aspire 7, the A715 series. I'm going to show you how to get inside, access your motherboard. So first thing, power down your computer the correct way. Make sure it's off and unplugged from your charger. We're then going to flip it over to access our bottom case screws. So you have these 4 screws along the bottom edge of my screen here, these 2 near the top on the left, these 3 on the right-hand side, these 2 near the top middle, and then these 2 in the middle of the bottom case. So quite a lot of screws. After removing those screws, we're going to take a small, flat, preferably plastic pry tool and go across the seam of the bottom case and pry it up from the rest of the computer. I say plastic pry tool because in this situation, metal is going to scratch your case a lot more than plastic will. So I tend to go with a hard plastic pry tool like a guitar pick. But you're going to start on one end, work your way down the side. Don't put the pry tool too far in. You could damage some internal components. Just keep it right on the edge and be firm but slow. If you get stuck somewhere, leave it, go to the other side, and go around in the other direction. So once you get your bottom case off, this is what you're looking at for the inside of your computer. So as a general computer repair side note, whenever I'm working on a computer in my shop, I have it sitting on an anti-static mat. Either that or an anti-static bracelet are great ideas to avoid damaging anything in your computer when you're working on it. If you would like any help with any tools or supplies to help you in your computer projects, there'll be a link above. Also below in the description, it'll be a list of a lot of the tools and supplies that I use in my shop. So before I do anything in a computer, I always remove or at least unplug my battery. A computer is safer to work on when as little power as possible is running through it. Your battery is right here towards the bottom, and it's held in by these 2 screws, one on either side near the top corners, and it plugs into the motherboard right there. So if you're looking to remove your battery, you would undo those 2 screws, and then right here, if you look at your plug, your white plug, there's a good sized grip on either side. So you can put your fingernails or a pry tool in that grip and pull it out of that port. As with any cables in a computer, we want to try to avoid pulling on the wires themselves when at all possible. We could damage the plugs. So we always want to pull or manipulate the actual plugs themselves rather than pull on the wires. Now, as you may expect, before getting the motherboard out, we have to pretty much remove everything that's attached to it and everything that's plugged into it. So I'm going to take you through right now, show you all the various components that I'm going to remove or unplug. While we're doing this, keep in mind, if you're looking for any replacement or upgrade parts for this specific model computer, I will have a link above. Also below in the description, it'll be a list of all the upgrade and replacement parts for this model. So your RAM ports are right here. You have 2 of them for 2 sticks. Most of you stock will only have 1. The way you operate the RAM, there's 2 spring-loaded metal arms on either side. You would gently pry those apart from each other away from the RAM stick. It would then release, and very often it even pops up a little bit. You can grab it here in the center and slide it out of this port. And to get your RAM back in, as you notice, there's a long part to the RAM stick and a short part here. So you can't put the RAM in upside down. It only goes in one way. And once you get it in nice and flush, the gold section here is nice and even all the way across. You would just press down in the center of the RAM stick, and then these arms would latch onto it and secure it in place. Your solid state drive is right here. There's a single M.2 NVMe port right there. And this solid state drive is held in by a single screw right there. So you undo that screw, you release the drive, you can pull it out of this port right there. So your speakers are down here. You have this one to the left of my screen, bottom corner, this one to the right of my screen, bottom corner. Now these speakers are not actually screwed in, they're just held on by these rubber washers that go over the posts for sound insulation. And this one plugs into the motherboard here, this one plugs into the motherboard here. Now, again, try not to pull on wires, especially these speaker wires. They're very tiny, very fragile. They can easily be yanked right out of the plug. You do have grips on either side of that plug, so you could use your fingernails or a small pry tool to wiggle those out of the motherboard port. So here's your Wi-Fi card right here toward the center of my screen underneath the right-hand fan. It's held down by a single screw right here in the middle. After you undo that screw, this Wi-Fi card will pull right out of the port right there. And then all you'll have left are these antenna wire. They run along the fan there, around it, through this hinge assembly. Those are just snaps. Those snap right up and off of the Wi-Fi card. To get them back on can be a little tricky. They have to be at a straight 90-degree angle to snap back on. And if they are off angle a little bit, you are strong enough to damage them when you push them. So be very careful. Go easy. Make sure it's at a 90-degree angle. It can be frustrating, but you can get it on. So here's your CMOS battery here towards the left of my screen above the speaker. It's held in by double-sided tape, and it plugs into the motherboard right here. And to unplug it, there's a grip on either side of that white plug. You can use your fingernails, or you can use a pry tool to jimmy that out. Don't pull on that plug again, as sometimes you can pull the wire right out of the plug and damage it. So here's your fans right there and your heatsink assembly going over CPU, GPU. You have a screw right here for the fan, another screw right here, and then a screw there. And some of you may have a screw there. Mine didn't. The computer may have already been entered. But that's how you would release the fans. And then for the heatsink, you have 2 screws here. And then 2 screws here. And a single screw here. So that's how you would access your fan, your heatsink assembly. There will be a video link above and in the description. It'll be a tutorial on how to deal with an overheating laptop. If you ever remove your heatsink assembly for any reason and you expose the thermal paste to air, you definitely want to reapply it. So that video will also show you how to clean off all the old thermal paste. You don't want to add new stuff on top of old stuff. And then it'll show you how to apply thermal paste correctly. Also, a thing to keep in mind, cheaper thermal paste is going to be cheaper, and the more expensive stuff usually is going to do a better job at facilitating that heat transfer out. So just keep in mind with thermal paste, you do get what you pay for. I'll have some thermal paste options below in the description in that link I told you about with all the tools and supplies for repair projects. After unplugging all of those things, we're going to go around and unplug everything else. You see this plug right here going into the USB board. Again, don't pull on wires. You should be able to grip each end with a pair of pliers. Also, there's a little button right there that you can put a pry tool, press into it, and slide it out. You may have to do a combination of those to get that out. Those tend to be a little tight. You'll notice here there's a ribbon cable connection here, as well as these down here and this one up here. These are very fragile, guys. These type of connections are very fragile, so be careful. The way these work, I'll use this one for example. It's a white port and a black clip, and the ribbon cable goes underneath this black clip. Now that black clip operates almost like a book cover. It'll open from the bottom, and the hinges will be on top. So the way to operate that is you take a small, very, very flat pry tool. You slide it from the bottom underneath that black clip and gently, carefully pop it up like a book cover. The ribbon cable will release, and then you can put it back down so it doesn't get caught on anything. These black clips are extremely fragile. If you break them, you probably can't find a replacement, which means your motherboard's junk. You have to find a replacement or get a new motherboard. So be very careful with these. This one operates the same way. These all operate the same way. This one, the clip is white instead of black. And this one, you slide it sideways to release instead. Then you have your LCD cable here. We already talked about these cables. After all that, you would go around and unscrew the motherboard. You have a screw right here. And for example, when you look at this screw, this is very common with motherboards. There'll be a white arrow or a white triangle that shows you this is a motherboard screw. So look around the motherboard, go all the way around. You have one here, you have one here. Look all around, take all the screws off. And then after that, you'll be able to get your motherboard out. Thanks again so much for watching. Please remember to like and share if this helped you out, if you think it can help someone else out. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoy DIY computer content like this, or if you just want to keep me on hand to answer any of your future computer questions. I do try to answer all questions throughout my channel at least a couple times a day. Also, feel free to check out the related links section below in the description. From time to time, I do try to add things in there that I think will help you with your general computer life, make it more productive, more enjoyable. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.